Well, back home and to our conversation of the day. Today's episode of Your Voice brings to you the best of both worlds, the new and the old media. Now, veteran media personality Kathleen Openda spoke to Brian Moshiri on life in the media back in the day and what has changed and, of course, the way forward.
This morning, Your Voice is in studio again because I speak to veteran journalist Kathleen Openda, who joins me on Zoom right now. How are you, madam? Where have you been, actually?
Actually, I moved into the communication space. I went behind the scenes, doing productions from behind the scenes, leading from behind, I guess. That's what I've been doing.
Now, you bring the journalism aspect and you watch television nowadays. Are Kenyan journalists getting lazy?
I'm not sure that it's as simple as that. There are very many studies that have, tried to analyze this phenomenon. But I do remember that during our time, our motivation was actually the craft of journalism, playing that role in society, providing a voice to the voiceless. And there was less emphasis on entertainment, more emphasis on the news, what has happened, why it's happened, and trying to disseminate the meaning of what has happened to help Kenyans or whoever is watching understand the situations better. But I think now with the digital age and so many channels available, all manner of shenanigans are employed to try and get viewership or to try and get readership. And so when you lose control of if you lose the control or you pander to the numbers and then you try to fit in and try to get attention, then you lose part of the core business of journalism.
Our managing editor here at the Nation Media Group, Joseph Warongo, is very loud on it's not about you as an anchor, you as a journalist, but it's about the story. What do you think about such sentiments from such a gentleman?
First of all, shout out to Joseph. We started KTN together, so we were teammates in the newsroom. And that's actually the difference. We were there for the story. It was not about us. People might have called us celebrities, but we certainly did not feel that way. We were immersed in the telling of the story, honing our crafts, making it better, researching and getting to understand our topics better so that we could deliver better product to those who were watching us.
You guys were popular in the 90s. How come we do not see the drama that we see with our day-to-day, perhaps, journalists in this day and age?
Again, it speaks to motivation. Why are you in front of the camera? Are you in front of the camera for yourself? Or are you in front of the camera to serve a purpose that without where you are not the center? Where it's the story, as Mr. Warungu keeps telling you guys. It's about the story, it's not about you. You are just a channel for the story. But if you become the center of the story, then you lose focus.
Kwa hivyo vile nilisema ya kwamba gazeti ni ya kufunga nyama ni sawa. Tuendelee namna hiyo.
Someni ile kwa gazeti, kesho tufunge naye nyama na tuendeshe serikali mbele.
Hii magazeti ni ya kufunga tu nyama, si ya kazi nyingine.
What do you make of such sentiments when you see that?
I think it's a good thing. It means that you've rubbed them up the wrong way as media, as journalists, that you're not pandering to their whims. So I would take it as a compliment.
But some of these media stations, madam, are owned by government or senior government officials. How then again do you balance as a media house or as a journalist on not blowing too much of the government trumpet and also bringing stories that relate to common mwananchi?
Well, it's not a new phenomenon. When we started KTN, it was actually owned by the powers that be at that time. We, as journalists, worked to get the story. The ownership stuff and all that maneno was the editors and the publishers' problem. But you see, if you are not credible in the information that you are giving, nobody's going to watch you.
Journalists now have to deal with social media. Do you think it's becoming harder? I mean, a typical journalist may need to be a brand ambassador for some brand.
Yeah, well, then you decide if you want to be a journalist or you want to be an influencer. There's something wrong with presenting yourself as a journalist and then trying to stretch the edges a little bit into something else. Then you stop being a journalist. Then it means that you're not being truthful in how you present yourself, because there are certain ethics and guidelines for journalists that make them that way. There is a fallacy out there that if you're not on television or if you're not in the limelight, that there is no life beyond it. There is, by the way, and it's much richer, much fuller. I have enjoyed my anonymity thoroughly, so that people are not distracted by this is so and so, but would actually listen to me for me.
Yeah.
Because what I have to say is interesting, but they're not staring at me because they've seen me on television or think they know me because they've seen me on television. I can be my authentic self without having to live up to the expectations of others. Just be.
Wow. Thank you very much. Any final remarks from your end, perhaps? Something you'd like to give as advice to young people like me in the media?
Keep it simple. It's always about the story. It's not about you. And don't believe your own press releases. Don't drink your own Kool-Aid.
Thank you very much. Have a good one. We really, really appreciate your time. Thank you for having us, and thank you for joining us at this point in time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and all the best.
Media personality Kathleen Openda right there, just saying to young people and journalists in the industry, keep it simple, trust the process, and it's not about you, it's about the story that you're giving.